Welcome to The Terrible Take, a daily segment telling Steelers Nation what's on our mind. I'm Ross McCorkle. The Pittsburgh Steelers really want to be like the Philadelphia Eagles. Their game plan executed in the Super Bowl win in which they dominated the Chiefs is exactly the template the Steelers have been trying to employ on both sides of the ball. They didn't air the ball out a ton, partially because they did have a lead the entire game, but they stuck to the plan of running the ball even when Saquon Barkley was mostly being bottled up. They supplemented the running game with quarterback mobility on scrambles and designed runs and managed to control the clock with good play on possession downs. They barely had to punt at all and protected the ball with just one turnover. Then on defense, they managed to get a ton of pressure on Patrick Mahomes without blitzing a single time. They just sent their four-man rush and repeatedly had Mahomes on his back heel, taking sacks or making mistakes. It's almost like the Steelers are an elementary version of what the Eagles put on display in the Super Bowl. The Steelers even have Andy Weidl, who helped set the draft board in Philadelphia, as their current assistant GM to do the same in Pittsburgh. They have been trying to build from the inside out in the trenches, much like the Eagles. To be fair, injuries derailed the offensive line last year after heavy draft investments in each of the last 2 years. This year is probably the time to invest in the defensive line and maybe even with the double dip. Is there a realistic path to the Steelers dominating in the trenches like the Eagles did? It feels miles away, and they are still in the infant stages of building that type of program. They need to quickly backfill Larry Ogunjobi and set up a long-term plan when Cam Hayward retires. The offensive line also needs to gel and will likely need at least one more solid investment in the next draft or two to get it to where it needs to be. Like it or not, Tomlin and company looked at that Super Bowl last night, and it likely emboldened their preferred style of play. It's a proof of concept for what they have been working towards, and they will continue to do pretty much the same. Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com and check out episodes of The Terrible Take every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out The Terrible Podcast with Dave Bryan and Alex Kozora every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.